Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your man Jay the Prince again, and I'm back with another reading from the book Chains and Images of Psychological Slavery by Naeem Akbar. Before I begin, I just want to say I am so thankful that there is an awakening happening, and I am so grateful to be living in an era when that is so. I know we focus so much on the violence, be it black on black, white on black, cop on black, cop on black, cop on black on black, whatever, transgender based violence. There's lots of violence going on, but really and truly, there is a great awakening happening in the universe, and I'm excited because there are some great things that are coming, and we're a part of that because we're living in this era. So, that being said, let me provide a little more of that awakenness for those of you who are interested, because not everyone is interested in becoming awake. Some people prefer to sleep, and that's okay too, if that's where you are. But today I want to read the portion from the book, whose title I already mentioned, The Clown. Let's check this out. This affects me to some degree. Another serious handicap which we inherited from slavery is the African American clown. One of the primary forms of remaining in favor with the slave master by the slave was to provide entertainment for the master and his household. It is easy to observe that man exults in his superiority over lower animals by teaching them to do tricks and being entertained by those tricks. In much of the same way, the slave owner prided himself in his superiority by being entertained by the slave. Writers have long pointed to the jester, the clown, or the fool as the inferior one who was responsible for making his superior laugh. Using a person for your clown has always been one of the major ways to assert your dominance over a person. Mockery is one of the more sophisticated forms of humiliation. Great favors of leniency and special rewards were given to the clowning slaves. He enjoyed a special status above the other slaves because he kept his master entertained. Even the arts, music and dance, which had originally been used for self-expression and community recreation, became devices which were used by the slave to protect himself from the master's anger. Fiddler in the TV drama Roots was a colorful example of this manipulative function of the clown. Clowning and buffoonery became one of the primary ways that the violent and abusive slave master could be controlled and manipulated. The problem with this pattern, as with the others we have discussed, is that this kind of response has long outlived its real usefulness. What began as a survival tactic under highly unnatural living conditions has become a crippling part of the psychology of a people seeking to restore life and community to themselves. An overwhelming number of popular media presentations involve African American clowns. Comedy is valuable unless it is done to the exclusion of aspects of other facets of a people's life. The clear underrepresentation of serious aspects of American life in the popular media suggests that even the former slaves prefer to laugh about themselves rather than improve themselves. The bug-eyed JJ on the program Good Times is an update of the 1940s and 1950s Stephen Fetchit and Mantan Moreland. These clowns were updates on the slavery buffoon who mastered being funny to survive. This is not to degrade obvious talent of these master showmen, but to identify a force which has exalted the clown while degrading or ignoring the scientist. Entertainers and athletes are the popular heroes of the African American community. Physical prowess or comic exploit are the only characteristics black heroes are permitted to express. Intellectual acuity, prophetic vision, moral integrity, technological know how, and managerial efficiency are characteristics seldom, if ever, portrayed. Consequently, the slave images of power persist. African American children, as a consequence, strive to throw balls or croon on microphones rather than seeking to explore the universe, discover cures for infectious diseases, or discover ways to feed the starving masses in Africa or India, or in the USA for that matter. Such a preoccupation with impotent images was a device to keep the slave's aspirations in check. The persistence of such models to the exclusion of others perpetuates the conditions of slavery. Even more destructive is the person who feels the necessity to be a clown in his interactions with Caucasians. Many people have observed or experienced the African American member of an interracial team serving as the entertainer over lunch or at the party. Somehow, that the token African American always manages to be the funniest guy. It becomes an obsession on the part of the minority member to maintain favor with his colleagues by keeping them laughing. He often finds himself being urged, "Come on, Sam, tell us a joke." So, another old pattern with its roots in slavery continues to bring rewards on the modern age. Human beings are unable to be about the serious business of living and building societies if they feel compelled to always clown. People do not take you seriously if you do not take yourself seriously. A sense of humor brings necessary balance to an organized life, but a life of humor blinds one to life. As an entertainer, and for a while I actually didn't refer to myself as an entertainer. I referred to myself as an edutainer, and I still do that sometimes. Um, but I've decided that I know who I am and I know what my purpose is. So whether you know that I identify myself as an entertainer or an edutainer is really of no uh, real consequence to me, because again, I know my purpose. Do you know yours? I believe that just as Naeem Bark Akbar shares, there's value in entertainment. And some entertainers feel like, I've heard people say, well, it's not their job to educate. To whom much is given, much is required. And I believe that in that I've been given much, it is my responsibility to use the gifts that I've been given to make a change. You see me on stage performing, there's a goal in mind. It's not very important for me to reveal all of my plans in one setting. Um, but there are so many entertainers out there who I wonder sometimes, is there a greater purpose to them other than simply providing laughter or entertainment for those who are watching them? Do we see that being or having the gift to entertain is just one set of tools that we can use to garner the attention of the masses so that we can then guide or steer the mindset of people in hopefully an even more positive direction? I've been given much, and I believe that it is my responsibility to use this life that I've been given to make change, to create positive change, to be a part of that awakening that I mentioned earlier. Will you join me? Have a great day.